Hello, everyone, and welcome to Poetry Live. Uh, I want to thank all of you for showing up again today and all of our viewers, both now and in the future. And I want to thank the Erie County Public Library for hosting this and let this keep on keeping on even during these virtual times. Uh, so that's just been amazing. Like I've sort of talked with a lot of people in chat here in the off times. Uh, it's one of the things that keeps me going, this Poetry Live thing. It's really bringing the energy. So I'm happy to see everybody and have the chance to listen. So I think we're going to get right into it. We don't have much going on. Of course, Poetry Live is going to keep on going for this foreseeable future on virtual. We are looking at having a good amount of poetry programming in 2021. Can't talk about any of that too in detail now, but just keep your eyes out for that, and I'll let everybody know. But yeah, let's get going. I'm really excited to hear all of your poetry tonight. Just some rules before we move forward. Each person read 2 poems, 3 if they're very short. When you kind of take the cam, I guess, introduce yourself, tell us who you are, and then from there, you can read your poems. When you're finished, you can mute your mic again. What we're going to do is I think we're going to do the same order as we did last time, where people can put in chat, they can just like type in chat when they want to go, and then I'll just go down the order of what people put in chat. Just that way we can keep it pretty orderly and keep the sort of downtime to a limit. As usual, I will probably start first just because that makes sense. And again, I want to thank you all for being here. My name is Patrick Nuttall. I don't think I mentioned that. And I will be starting up. I'm going to start with 2 poems, which I'm pretty sure I haven't read yet. The first one is kind of a little different than the poetry I usually read, but hopefully it's still interesting. Neutral monism. On the windowsill, I find Spinoza etched in wood, and for once I agree. God can be so many points that, at this rate, he is due for a comeback. I fold my last checkered shirt and pack it away. Can there be any casual truths? A dog barks, I am Lazarus, and suddenly my father's kidneys fail on the way home from the hospital, if suddenly as 30 years of Dunkin's and Coors Light. If Planantes is Greek for wanderer, then God must also be a planet, and so must I. Thank you. I even did some work to try to pronounce that properly, Greek, and messed it up. Okay, I'm going to do my second poem, which is the one I may have read before, but I'm like 90% certain I didn't. And this one's called Walking Home. I am here again, at the crest of the hill, and there is nothing but a rush of wind. The trees and grass bend towards me, and then away with the same vigor of spring. In November, there is a stranger in green. Everything should be edged with dying, but a man on a mower mows as he had when I left this morning, as if, hour by hour, it was the start of a new season. I greet him on the incline, and he looks through me. He lights another cigarette. I enter my apartment. If I were able to change anything, it would be that tomorrow there's only the frame of me, an empty bed with the impression of being slept in. And in the evening, when the smell of barbecue slips in through the window, there will be someone else, a family maybe, that waits in the kitchen and laughs when the mother spills dishwater down her shirt and runs outside to collect the chicken before it burns. Thank you. Okay, let us see who we got next. Looks like we have, I can follow Danny. Okay, so let's go next. It looks like somebody is, sorry, it's doing a weird thing. Okay, it looks like it's Danny. Sorry about that.
All righty, yeah, I think I was the first one. Well, I'm Danny Mitchell, and this is the political poetry portion of the program. And tonight, I've got two poems continuing the theme, working. One of them is by Susan Myers, and she apparently has a book called Tar River Poetry. Oh, no. Yeah, Tar River Poetry, Volume 48, or that's where this poem was written, which may be a collection out of a South Carolina press. But it's a very nice poem about working in the home, and it's about her mother. And it's called Mother Washing Dishes. That's a form of work that a lot of us overlook. By Susan Myers. She rarely made us do it. She'd clear the table instead. So my sister and I teased that someday we'd train our children right and not end up like her after every meal, stuck with red knuckles, a bleached rag to wipe and wring. The one chore she spared us, gummy plates in water, greasy and swirling with stewed peas, globs of eggs and gravy. Or did she guard her place at the window, not wanting to give up the gloss of the magnolia, the school traffic humming, sunset finches at the feeder, first sighting of the mail truck at the curb, just after noon, delivering a note, a card, the least bit of news. And that was Mother Washing Dishes by Susan Meyer. One of the many jobs we overlook, housework and the work that women contribute to child rearing. So this next poem is by a man, Bob Hickok, or Hickok, it might be Hickok, strange word. And he had a book called Insomnia Diary, published by University Press of Pittsburgh. And from that book, we're going to read Calling Him Back from Layoff, which is a common experience that a lot of people right now are eagerly awaiting. I called the man today. After he said hello and I said hello, came a pause during which it would have been confusing to say hello again. So I said, how are you doing? And guess what? He said fine and wondered aloud how I was. And it turned out I'm okay. He was on the couch watching cars painted with ads for Budweiser, following cars painted with ads for Tide around an oval. And that metaphor for life became most of us run out of gas and settle for getting drunk in the stands and shouting at someone in a t-shirt, we want kraut on our dog, I said. He could have had his job back he could have his job back. Oh, excuse me. I said he could have his job back, and during the pause that followed, his whiskers scrubbed the mouthpiece clean, and his breath passed in and out in a tidal fashion popular with mammals until he broke through with the words, how soon, thank you, oh my God, which crossed his lips and drove through the wires on the backs of ions of relief meant to be heard by the sky. When I began, I cried too, with the shape of my silence to say, I understand, but each confession of fear and poverty was more awkward than what you learn in the shower. After he hung up, I went outside and sat with one hand in the bower of the other and thought, if I can turn my head to the left, it changes the song of the oriole. And I gave it a job to one, and if I gave a job to one stomach, other forks and naked, and if tonight a steak sizzles in his kitchen, so the 7 other people staring at their phones hear. And that was it. Bob Highcock calling him back from layoff. Sad and confusing, and joyous and everything else. And those are my 2 poems and my contribution to the political poetry of Erie. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Danny. That was wonderful. I always love hearing some political poetry. Okay, it looks like Chuck is up next.
Thanks, Patrick. I have 2 poems, and the first one is a cover. I'm really pleased to have the opportunity to bring covers to our poetry activity. When I visit a open mic out of town, I like to bring my own work solely, but here it's kind of turning out to be a great place to bring a cover. And earlier this week, I stumbled upon a television show on EWTN, the Catholic channel, on my cable TV that featured Jared Manley Hopkins. And it was a wonderful show, maybe the best thing I've ever seen on EWTN. And I was inspired to bring a Hopkins poem here tonight. This one may date to 1879. It's called Binsey Poplars. My aspens dear, whose airy cages quelled or quenched in leaves the leaping sun, all felled, are all felled. Of a fresh and following folded rank, not spared, not one that dandled, a sandaled shadow that swam or sank on meadow and river and wind-wandering, weed-winding bank. Oh, if we but knew what we do when we delve or hew, hack and rack the growing green. Since country is so tender to touch, her being so slender that, like this sleek and seeing ball, but a prick will make no eye at all, where we, even when we mean to mend her, we end her when we delve or hew. Aftercomers cannot guess the beauty bin. 10 or 12, only 10 or 12 strokes of havoc unselve the sweet especial scene. Rural scene, a rural scene, sweet as special rural scene. Thank you. Gerard Manley Hopkins, priest, poet. Now here's one of mine. This is Christmas themed. That last one maybe participated a little in the political part of the poem event. So maybe this will introduce a little Christmas theme or a little more of it. This is called Christmas in Interesting Times. Another year of our lives devoted to family sustaining jobs. Hers has the health insurance. Home to our North Country place, almost Canada. We welcome snow this time of year. Christmas, when Christians celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, Savior of the world. Home and alone, our children with their in-laws will see those beloved offspring yesterday and tomorrow. Today, I suggest a visit to nice Chinese restaurant. All the other diners suddenly deciding we're both Jews. Thank you.
Thank you, Chuck. I love Hopkins, one of my favorites. And of course, your own poem was wonderful too. So thank you so much. Looks like Nisi is fourth. So welcome, Nisi.
Hello, can you hear me okay? I didn't, well, I guess I can name this one, but I have 2 short ones I wrote over the last couple of weeks. I guess I named this one Sweet Black Child. And I missed everybody. Hi, y'all. My sweet young Black child, some things you won't understand, primarily because your ancestors were stolen from land, a land of all mothers, sacred and grand, the home of the DNA that created man. My sweet young Black child, there'll be days that are long, some days will be rough, but you've got to be strong. When the going gets tough, knowing your rights from your wrongs, adjust your crown, my love, and take a seat on your throne. That's that one. Just inspired by my kids because they're like really cool. They're a lot cooler than me at their ages. So, but it's like I always figure out like what can I do for them? What can I tell them? So I just try to give little nuggets. All right, this one I wrote on and off over the last couple of weeks. I don't even know if I'm finished with it, but I'm gonna name it Not Monolithic. All right, let me go because it's not really finished. Black people aren't a monolith. I want to make this clear right off the rip. You better learn about it, learn it quick. And if people don't know about it by now, get the grip. Black women aren't a monolith. That's a root that I'm here to pull and snip. Don't abuse and use us for our gifts. She was created for you to uplift. Black men are not a monolith, but still, no matter the age or the size, they're at risk of extermination and almost certain death. We must pray and love them with all our breaths. Black children aren't a monolith. Parents should allow them to express their best. Listen, support their dreams and even a wish. Plant the seeds, reaping healthy harvest. Black people are not a monolith. You may think that because we were shipped and inequality formed and shaped a rift. But with unity and guidance, you'll see a shift. It's not really done yet, but that's
Okay.
Thank you so much, DC. Looks like it's Todd. Todd's up.
All right. I got two, obviously. First one's pretty light and comes from a series of songs and poems that I've written recently to deify the ignored parts of our lives. Because I feel like a lot of art and stuff really kind of tries to focus on things of great power and world-shifting importance, like love or justice or politics or war or new life or, you know, big changing things. But I've been working on a series of art that kind of lifts up the things that we don't think about, like washing ourselves and doing the laundry. And, you know, this poem is a coronavirus poem. I wrote it a few months ago, and it's called The Dance of the Public Works Projects. Empty parks and empty benches grow dusty when no one swept them. No pants, no shoes, no book bags dress them, and now they shiver free. They dance their legs through empty grasses, bend their backs and clink their glasses. Free from the tyranny of the asses, they sing of liberty. Thank you. And this one is just a little interlude. I'm actually taking a break from creating new poetry because I've officially recently, yes, the tyranny of the asses. I've recently started compiling my first collection, which is about 50 or 60 poems from the last 2 years. So wish me luck, but I'm not writing new ones for a while. This
Can we
one
come
is
off
not.
mute though and say like woo, like you can't just go into your next poem with that, like woo.
Thank you. It's called The Crepe Crusade. It's focused on 3 main tenets, which are absurdism, magical realism, and surrealism. So it's all a lot of nonsense and silliness. But this poem was written 6 years ago. So this is almost before I started. It's 7 years ago, like right around when I started taking my poetry seriously. And it's a lot darker than the last one. It's called All Right. Loud lights, loud lights are lording high above this roaring night. Let them shine and raise a sign for soul-swept singers to play the pine. And I'll be fine. Yeah, I'm all right. Under loud lights on this fate-filled night, the tabs are stacked high. Not a glass is left dry, and a cheering and a singing, cell phone screens swinging, an audience roaring an uproarious wave. There's a sudden chill. My voice is too shrill, swilling, spilling into the air. This night, this shadow play light bright sight, it's all right. I demand it. Be all right. Streets like pounded meat, delete in rocky sheets. Windswept, cracking, under snow, melting, packing, attacking as elements attack. A wave of whipping wind tears my open skin, scattering a littered loss of loose land, and this city's all right. It frowns and frets, forgets, but really, it's all right. A gruesome sight, a simply slaughtered space. Who trashed my place? A can of mace, an empty guitar case, bits of lace in a place where books build heaps and clothes forget where the hamper is. Quarters and magazines and shirts and socks and trousers sprawled over speckled floorboards flecked with a film of extremely lived in. But it's all right. A wreck, but all right. I live in skin all pale and white. My eyes see through a pool of night, and might has skipped my arms, leaving room for a head to grow. I always say I know, when in honesty, as I often speak, I know not what I be, nor what I see. I really don't know me. I try to show me. They always ask for me, but I hide. It's not me inside. I have no pride. I'm neither tall nor wide, and I tried. Oh, how I have tried. No, I haven't tried. I lied. Never enough, never enough, never enough. But it's all right. I know in the end, it will be all right. Thank you.
Thank you, Todd. That was very powerful. Also, I'm excited to talk to you more about your manuscript. I've already started reading it, and I can't wait to get a little more into it. Okay, everyone. It looks as though nobody else joined in, which is fine. This was a wonderful event with wonderful people. And again, I always love Hopkins, so whenever that happens, it stills my heart.
Let's just start over. Let's start over from the top.
Start over from the top. Well, luckily, we don't have to wait that long. We're going to be here again next week. Let me kind of go through my notes. So I wanted to thank everybody for coming. Again, we're going to be doing this next week. We're going to be doing this every Tuesday. It is the holiday season, so if people can't make it, I'm just happy that people made it today, but if you can't make it next week, that's okay too. I imagine we'll kind of get back into full swing once the holiday season is over. And yeah, I've been really happy to be here again, and I'm really happy to be here next week. So if you have any questions, you can definitely get a hold of me at the library. My name is Patrick Nuttall, and thank you all for coming tonight. Bye.